Hi everyone. These are the red flags I experienced with a boy before he assaulted me. Children can groom other children for many reasons. It's a learned behavior. If you're in middle school or high school facing anything similar to this, please tell your parents. If your parents are unsupportive, tell your guidance counselor. Ask a teacher for help or opinion. Is this normal? If telling that something has happened to you or is happening to you, or you think something will happen to you in the future, and you feel like that's too difficult, please just ask questions. What would it mean if someone did this? What would a girl need to do if someone was doing this to her? Even the internet is fine. If you are a parent, please pay attention to your child's behavior and who they're spending time with, or the blind spots you may have in your children's social circle. Let's get into the story. Okay, so me and this boy, we're gonna call him John. We met in middle school. I was in 8th grade and he was in 7th. He lived like down the street and then up that next hill. So we rode the same bus to school. And we'll go over why I started to like him. I guess I can't, now looking back, I can't speak on it, but I'm assuming at the time he had a different personality type than I was used to. So that was intriguing. And then we had some kind of similar sense of humor, like a quirky sense of humor. And I had a very expressive type of style and usually got made fun of for it a lot, but he complimented me, my hair and my like big earrings and big jewelry and all that stuff. So of course, being starved of attention, I guess, him complimenting me made me like him. So we'll go into the inappropriate behavior that started on the bus. Obviously we would sit together on the bus, and I want to say it was on the way home from school that these incidents happened for sure, because it was just like right outside. So there was one occasion where he, I remember he was like pushing me to like touch his privates, right? And it started with him flashing me. He decided he was just gonna pull his pants down on the bus and whip his thing out, and just the shock factor of like, oh my gosh, like, and then you freeze and then you can't do anything and you just act awkward, like, what is going on? And then there was another time where he actually like took my hand and made me touch him. Now I can't remember if it was over his pants or if he put my hand in his pants to touch him like over his boxers or something. But this is a major red flag. We were 12 and 13. For many reasons, this is kind of like, where did he learn that from? And then, why is it being acted out in public? And then, this is not a normal progression in any dating scenario. It's not normal. Middle school, I don't have an opinion yet on allowing your children to date in middle school. I feel like it's good to talk to them about dating because they're about to go to high school. They're gonna have crushes, they're gonna like people, Um, but touching, no. Touching privates should not be happening at 12, 13, 14. And I'm not going to go into my opinions about high school. So, completely inappropriate. If someone is making you touch them at all, to be honest, if someone is making you touch them at all, you need to tell somebody. If someone is making you touch their privates, you immediately need to tell someone because it's going to escalate. So, some kind of breakup happened. We didn't last long, maybe like 2 months at best. That would be pushing it. He had come to my door like maybe once or twice, like with a group of his friends, and we like stood outside and talked for like maybe 2 seconds, and then that was it. So that was the extent of like our outside of school interactions. Then we broke up, whatever. Second semester came and he was in my gym class because usually gym classes are mixed grades. So, in this gym class, also, there was a girl. We're going to call her Kelsey. I can't remember her real name. I just remember it started with a K. But this girl was a major bully. She loved to bully me for my weird outfits that I would wear, my weird renditions of the school uniform. And also call me retarded, basically. Sing that song, what was it, Short Bus Shawty, that was popular. And yeah, basically say I'm on the short bus, like as in retarded. So when I found out me and my ex-boyfriend were in the same gym class again, I guess in my brain I'm just like, this is a great opportunity for me to try and get him back. I don't know why I was fixated on that. It didn't make sense. But as I tell more stories, this will be a common theme of like a pressure to revisit something that has already been deemed over and to do anything to get back with someone. So for some reason he was on crutches. I don't think he started the year on crutches, but like somewhere in the midst of the year, like the end of the year, because this was second semester, he was on crutches. So he was sitting out of a lot of activities. And now looking back, it's kind of like, what happened? I don't remember asking what happened. I know I did. I know someone must have. But, yeah. I'm trying to remember. Was he in a boot or something? Like, definitely didn't break his whole leg. It seemed like it was like an ankle situation. But he didn't play sports. So, around springtime, there was more grooming behavior. Grooming is when someone has an intention for you. They have a need they want to get met. They have chosen you to meet that need, and they are going to basically, I don't want to say it's like a Pavlov dog type of situation, but they're basically going to condition you and numb you to the escalating behaviors up to the goal that they want for you. So in this boy's goal was for me to give him oral. So you can kind of see how he's grooming for that. Like, he's already forced me to touch him down there with my hand. He's already shown it to me, you know? So, the end of the year is coming. It's probably like March, April, because it was springtime. And so we would sit near each other, like in the beginning of gym class, when we would do our little like warm-up activities. But in this case, I think it was the beginning of this week, this period of time where we were going to have a lot of free time because spring break was coming up. So we were just doing whatever we wanted. Like, we could walk around the gym, we could go outside, walk around the track, stuff like that. So I'm assuming sometimes he would sit behind me and he would just like sit there and like snap my bra strap, like just pull it and snap it on me. Then it escalated into one particular day, the major incident before the assault. So we were sitting there and our gym teacher was talking to us and He was doing the bra snapping thing. And then he moved down my back underneath my uniform shirt. Well, like, his hand was not underneath my shirt. His hand was over my shirt, pulling at the outline of my bra. The actual band now. And his friends are back there giggling, laughing, and all this stuff. And I'm just trying to ignore it. Because I'm embarrassed. Shame is a huge motivator for why girls don't stop these behaviors before they can escalate. And in public settings, they're going to do these things in public settings because in a public setting, if you overreact to something, these are the type of people who are going to act like they didn't do anything. So it's going to put attention on you instead of what they did to you. So he's snapping the actual bra band now where my hooks are. And then over my uniform shirt, he actually like physically unhooks my bra, and my bra is like open now. And then my chest is like about to fall out of the cups. And so I sit there, I'm doing like this, raising my hand, and at first my gym teacher kind of like scanned over me for a second because we're not supposed to be, talking, doing nothing right now. He's just doing an intro. But he was like, Fitzgerald, you know how gym teachers are. They call you by your last name. That is not a trope. And I was like, yeah, I need to go to the bathroom. I think he pushed it and he was like, is it an emergency? And I was probably made it seem like, oh, I just got my period or something like that. So he lets me go to the bathroom. The bathroom is within the locker room. So I'm in the girls' locker room, and I'm trying to remember, was there a door? because I actually think this one was more just an open. And then like the bathroom door had a lock on it. But I remember kind of like wandering for a while, like hiding. Um, I might have been trying to see if he was gonna follow me because I was extremely panicked. Um, and then I rushed in the bathroom, locked the door behind me, and I'm sure I cried in there while I was, obviously I have to take my whole bra off then and then like rehook it in the front, turn it around, all this stuff. So, yeah, I cried, then I wiped my eyes and tried to act normal. You don't have to act normal when weird things are happening to you. But in a situation like this, in my case, this is a larger scale grooming. Like, you've been groomed to accept weird behavior by your family of origin. So now you're out in the world, very bad things are starting to happen. They're not okay to you. You feel a certain way, but because of the way your family of origin has reacted to you feeling a certain way, nothing has changed. Out in the world, you feel even more hopeless. So, I went back out. Everybody was like walking around the track. My gym teacher calls me over to him. And he's like, I can't explain it. Y'all know how gym teachers are real, like kind of rough, gruff, not the type of people you would talk to about anything. But I specifically remember, like, it was a tone to his voice that was completely different. Like, I don't want to say fatherly, but more like concerned. So he was like, is there something you need to tell me, you want to talk about? Like, kind of like what was going on there. Because, I mean, it's not hard to see. Like, now from my perspective as an adult, like, you're an adult standing in a gym with like 20 kids in rows in front of you, sitting crisscross applesauce. Like, you have full view over the whole group. So, but of course I'm not saying that he saw exactly what happened. And, I just said, nope, nothing happened. He was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then he was like, all right. And then, the gruff tone returned and he was like, go find something to do. So I start walking in line with the girls usually just like to walk around the track. But Kelsey was friends with this guy named, I don't want to use his real name, but this guy named, I don't know, Craig. And so Craig was, pretty feminine. I don't want to say he was gay because it was middle school, but gay. And so he liked to walk the track too, and that was Kelsey, my bully's best friend. Although me and Craig knew each other for a while then, because we were both in orchestra together. He played the bass. I played violin. So, and this is crazy. I will never forget this. So Kelsey and Craig walk up to me, but Craig is just like kind of in the background just because he's Kelsey's best friend. Kelsey comes up to me and she says, I saw that. And she said, that's not okay. He can get in a lot of trouble for that. That's wrong. And she said, you need to tell somebody. And I was like, playing it down. No, it's no big deal, blah, 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 blah. I'm okay. Like, it was nothing. And I believe she actually said people go to jail for that. But I feel like she was alluding to, just sexual crimes just in general. So, I downplay it. And then she's like, you should hang out with us for the rest of class. You should walk with us. And yeah. I don't remember how much time I spent just walking around with them, but yeah. After that, spring break was coming up, and I just remember like kind of following him around the gym, and it was kind of empty in the gym because most people was outside walking on the actual track around the football field. So yeah, and I was still just wanting to be his girlfriend again. It didn't even mean anything. Like, we didn't do anything. There was no benefit to being in that relationship. But I still felt like it meant something important enough to put up with these behaviors that I didn't like for the payoff of potentially having someone to call my boyfriend again. I'm not quite sure what the thought process was. But I'm assuming we went on spring break. And yeah, we came back from spring break and he wasn't there. And it so happened that a rumor started spreading that he was missing. Like, he was actually missing. Reported missing to the police, and he had run away from home. I'm just trying to remember why that it was said that, I guess it was on the news or something. Like, it was that deep. Something about that he had been spotted last at Meyer. Here are the takeaways from this video. Groomers desensitize you to things that aren't right in hopes that you will give them something that is beneficial to them but harmful to you. It may even cost you your mental health in the end. Incidents of a sexual nature are very sensitive to people, and you may be surprised by who can offer you help in a situation like this. I would have never thought Kelsey, my gym bully, would be the one to tell me how wrong it was. A portion of boys who commit sexual crimes, harassment, assault, and violence against women are entitled, and they may learn this entitlement from their fathers, other men in their lives, or by the lack of men in their lives. But another portion are mimicking things that are being done to them at home, or taking out frustration sexually on things that are being done physically to them at home. Or they may even be getting exposed to sexual assault on a repeated basis toward other women or children in the household, unfortunately. Love is abundant, y'all. Even when you think, and trust me, I'm hearing myself right now, even when you think you will never find someone else, you break up with the person, time goes on, you find someone else. Sometimes within a month, sometimes 2 weeks. and it all starts all over again. Middle school and high school relationships are not the end of the world. If you lose one, it doesn't mean anything about you, about your worth. It doesn't mean you're unlovable. It's not your last chance. Now on to my perspective on this now. While I'm telling this story, you can hear that there's another side. There's the red flags that I'm being exposed to, and then the red flags that he was showing us that he was being exposed to. As in, now that I'm thinking back, how would a 12-year-old boy break his ankle, sprain his ankle, do anything like that if he doesn't play sports? The first thing that comes to my mind is falling down the stairs. Some type of violence by another man, or potentially his mother. Then we fast forward to him running away from home. Then it's like a blaring siren that's like, okay, something's going on there that's absolutely not okay. Because this is a situation that involved us as children, it's kind of easier for me to empathize with the guy, even though I haven't thought about him himself in years. But what he did still follows me. And you just have to be careful what you do to people, because it doesn't matter. They won't remember you, and they won't even have anything against you after a certain period of time, but your behavior will still end up affecting them. So I want to thank everyone for watching this video. Hopefully you took some valuable information out of it. Even anonymously in the comments, like if you're going through something similar, you're in middle school, you're in high school, you feel like you can't tell your parents, you feel very scared to tell anyone, comment down below. I mean, come together, we can all talk about it. Like, it's extremely difficult to stop the grooming process if you don't know what's going on, because by the time you realize what's going on, you'll feel kind of helpless to be able to stop it, or it will have escalated to the predator's goal. So don't be scared to comment down below, even anonymously. Eventually, maybe I'll start leaving, like make an email and put it in the description where you guys can email me and tell me your stories, stuff like that. So that's the red flags leading up to my assault. The next video is going to be the actual assault and how it played out. And I may link another video that I recently watched below in that video, only because the ages that our assaults happened was very similar. And the tactic used by the boy was very similar. And the environment was extremely similar. So that really stood out to me. And I feel like it will help a lot of people in that specific time frame of freshman year of high school, 15 and 16, it really proves that there is a so-called rule book to this kind of stuff. It's not random. You can protect yourself, and you can absolutely notice the patterns when they're happening. They all kind of use the same tactic. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.